Hello everyone, welcome back. Crosstown Gamer here, and today we're continuing our playthrough of Andean Abyss. This is Coin Game Volume 1, and we are playing as the government faction here against the bot factions. Now, this is how the map looks as we left it last time. Last time we went through propaganda and an additional card. As you can see, the government faction, we're kind of relegated to the cities here, and we have a small presence in the center of the map. We're a little bit worried about the FARC because they're not really that far off from being able to do a lot of damage, although they're not in a great spot to get more opposition, except down here in their FARC zone. This is neutral, so this has a potential swing of 4 support, and then they just need to plop a base down and they're in contention for winning the game. So they're a little bit scary. The AUC, I'm not too worried about. They don't have a lot of bases on the map yet, and their win condition is based on bases. And the cartel are also looking scary because they just need, I believe, 10, greater than 10, so 11 bases. They need to place 2 more bases. And then they also need to have their resources over 40, which they currently are meeting, though it's the beginning of the campaign, so they have a lot of cash to spend. And the cartel and the FARC are first eligible here, or one of them will be. They're both eligible. One of them is first eligible. Let's get going. And the first card we have is Tres Esquinas, and we are up first, but we're not eligible, so it'll go to the cartels. And let's see if I don't think they want to do the event, though the event is going to be scary for us if it happens. Let's take a look at their sheet. So yeah, they're not first in the list, and they're not second eligible, so they're not going to do the event. Can they place a base with a rally, or if they have 10 plus cartels available, guerrillas available? They don't have 10 plus... Oh, it says cartel pieces available. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 pieces available. They're not specific about guerrillas. So the first part's a no, but can a rally place a base? Well, they can rally, I believe. Let's take a double check, but I'm pretty sure the rally is the same for everyone else, or as everyone else, where you can replace 2 guerrillas with a base. And so, yes, replace 2 with a base. So any location on the map where they are capable of placing a base will be a location such that there is room. There's room for a base, and they have at least 2 guerrillas. It looks like there are only spots on the map. The only spots where there are at least 2 guerrillas are here, here, and here. Up here, they have got no guerrillas. And of those spots, this is full. Stacking wise, this is full, and this has a spot for a base. So technically, yes, they can replace these 2 with a base, so that they are going to rally. Now, you might think a lot of the times they want to protect their bases, so they want to have at least 3 before they transfer 2 to a base. So that way they have a guerrilla there as protection from that base. However, the cartels... the criteria diamond here is just rally can place a base. And that's true. They can do it, not necessarily that they will. So we're going to rally. Guerrillas to underground, where we don't even need to read this because everything's underground. This is like right at the beginning of... Well, I guess not everything. There's some AUC things from last time that are active, but predominantly things are underground already. So... they're going to place bases where there are at least 2 cartel guerrillas without shipment. Oh, this is interesting because this is different from the other NPCs where they need at least 3. This is what I was just talking about, where they don't need to protect their base. They're just going to spam, bases out there like mad. So they're going to do this here. They're going to let me mark it, because there's a maximum of 3 locations that they're going to, or 3 departments or cities that they're going to do this in. And lastly, let's also verify that these are valid locations, because like the AUC says, without opposition, for example. But no, this is any departments or cities. So there's no extra criteria. Place guerrillas where there are cartel bases, but there are no cartel guerrillas. Let's see. Definitely this city here. Are there any other ones? Guerrilla. I don't think so. So that'll be their second location. It's going to be here. And their third location, if no guerrilla is available for 3, blah, blah, blah. So we don't need to read that because there were guerrillas available for 3. And then rally, if placing a guerrilla, if possible, in one department to enable the cartels then to cultivate to place a base. So I think we did this once before, but let me just go through it again really quick. Cultivate any department with population greater than 0 where the cartels outnumber the police with their guerrillas. They're going to move one cartel base from anywhere on the map to a selected space, or if rally department, which this is what we're shooting for with the criteria, the bot is trying to do this rally department criteria, then place one base there. So if it's a spot where they've rallied, they're able to place a base, which is pretty fancy. So they're going to rally and place a guerrilla if possible into one department where it would enable cartels to then cultivate. And you'll recall that the cartel are able to rally in any department or city. So really there are a few options where the cartels would outnumber, if they placed a guerrilla, they would outnumber the police presence there. Doesn't look like it would happen in any of the cities because there's at least one police in every city. Actually, that's not true here. But that was already selected for a location for a base, so they're not going to select that again for this piece of it. They're going to pick a third location. Even this city has a lowly, police there, and it's already at stacking limit anyway. So we're looking at departments, and it's got to be greater than 0 population, so none of these. And essentially just departments that have room for a base and do not have police there. So here's a prime example of a place that they could plop a guerrilla down, and that would meet the criteria for them to be able to cultivate. Way over here, up here, these are all fine locations. Since there's a few of them, I'm going to roll the dice. We got, triple fives, Yahtzee. Let's see what that equates to on the sheet. So 5, 5, 5. Panama Choco. Where is that? My, here it is, up here. My geography is not quite so stable when I'm facing west, I guess, instead of having it up here on the north. So yeah, it's up there. This isn't a valid location because it's full for stacking. So we go down to the star, up to the star. Cali, we already said none of the cities, so the purple ones don't count. Antioquia is already full stacking. So then the cities, then Santander, that's this one here. They're not going to be able to do it there. We go along to Cesar. That's up here. Okay, so they can do it up here. They will rally, and when they rally there, since this is the third spot and it was a maximum of 3 on the sheet here, then I'm not going to put the marker down. I'm just going to go in kind of reverse order, even though it's not the direction I should be going. So they're going to place one guerrilla or replace 2 at the base. So they're just going to place one guerrilla here, and it's going to go up here. And then they will cultivate there, which basically just means place a base there. No cost, which is crazy. Like, that's a really good, solid move. Here, they are also going to rally, and they do have a base, so they're going to place guerrillas up to population plus bases. And they don't need to do the flip underground thing. So they have, it's a 1 population zone, and they have 1 base there, so 1 plus 1 is 2. Ooh, I should be doing this in the correct order. I'm come to think of it, because they only have 2 left. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. I was going to say they wouldn't be able to rally in their last location, but they're not placing guerrillas there. They're placing a base there. So it's okay that we did it out of order. And I'm sorry for leading you down this path with me. So here they wanted to place a base. So we're going to take these two, replace these 2 guerrillas here with one of their bases. And throw the pieces around, cast them astray. And each rally location costs 1 resource. So this is going to drop them down by 3. 1, 2, 3. And they've cultivated, and they have rallied. So they've done everything on their turn. Next, it's the FARC. They are up. Let's look at the... I bet they're going to do the event, and then we're just going to be screwed. Okay. They're second eligible, and there's no 2. So they will look at this, and they will play the shaded version. Remove 1 government base and 1 cube from a department. There's only 1 department that has a base, government base. So they're going to remove a cube. And I believe in the rules it says, at least with Cuba Libre, in fact, I'm not even going to check. So you can call me out later if this is blatantly or patently false. But I believe they want to remove troops and police so that they're as even as possible. So they're going to remove the cube here, the troop, and then the base from here. So our foothold in the Santander Boyacá Mountains just got a lot weaker. And that was the event. So they played their event. And they didn't get to choose any other locations, because that was the only spot that had a base. So that's for that. We're going to adjust our eligibility. We will play the next card. It is Narco Subs. And the card after that, whoa, is the Chess Player. Cool. I'm trying to think who the Chess Player is. Is it Rui Lopez or something? Carlos Gilberto Rodriguez Orejuela. Okay. Maybe it's not related to chess at all, or I'm just not beefed up on my Colombian chess player knowledge. Anyway, it's Narco Subs, and the first faction up is going to be the AUC, because the cartels just went. So, let's take a look at their flowchart. They are not first in line, and they're not second eligible, so they're going to do this. They have 5 guerrillas available, but can they place a base? That's a good question. No, they can't. So anywhere where they have multiple guerrillas, then they're already full on bases there. So this is a no. AUC is in at least half of spaces with FARC bases. So... well, let's count them up. Where are all the spaces with FARC bases? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so half of that is 2.5. So at least half would be 3 spaces. Are they in at least 3 spaces with FARC bases? They're in 1, 2, 3. Yes. Yes. Underground AUC guerrilla at FARC base. Yes, there's a couple spots where that's true over there. And so this is a yes. They're going to do terror again. Oh man, the assassinate. I forgot about this. So good for them. So in up to 3 spaces with underground AUC, they're going to at 1 space with the FARC base where there are fewer police than AUC guerrillas. Then, so let's do that one first. Let's look at their... That's not it. There it is. It gets so turned around with all these player aids. They're all vital. I can't do anything without these. Terror. Any spaces with underground guerrillas. So it doesn't matter if it's opposition, support, none of that. But they're going to be dropping aid down again. I forgot that that's crappy. Boo for us. So at one space with FARC base with fewer police than AUC guerrillas. So I only spot those two locations that have underground, they outnumber police, and that they're at a FARC base. So one of those two spots, we'll roll the magic dice here, and we're going to do Huila is going to be a 1, 2, 3, and then Choco Cordoba is going to be a 4, 5, 6. Let's see. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then a 4, 5, 6. 6. So they're going to do it here. And the process here is they're going to activate one of these underground guerrillas, and they're going to spend a resource to do it. Let's do that. And they will then... Oh, we have to see if they're doing more than one space to drop the aid, but that's okay. They're going to place a terror marker and shift it one level toward neutral. So place a terror marker, shift it one level toward neutral. That does cause the opposition to go down by 1. And then they're gonna, let's see, that was the first one. Any your city or department with FARC, if non-player government, then not at support, but it doesn't matter here. Any city or department with FARC. That's, so they've already gone here, and they can't go in the other. The only two spaces left that they possibly could do it are here and here, and both of them have FARC. So again, we're going to roll the dice. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4. So here, it's already at neutral, but they don't care. They're going to do this, and it'll cost them another one. And then they place a terror marker. And then the last possible one, other cities or departments. And then, yeah, if non-player government not at support. The only other spot they could do it in is here. So they will do it there. It'll cost them another buck. And they'll flip one of these over. It's already at neutral, so it doesn't shift, but they get to place the terror marker. And because they did it in multiple spots, it's a -5 to aid, which is at 4, so it just goes down to 0. You can't get negative aid. So that was their maximum of 3. They did it in 3. Then they're going to assassinate in up to 3 terror spaces where AUC guerrillas exceed police, which is all 3 of those locations that they just did that in. They're going to remove guerrillas to take shipments. There are no shipments on the map. Then they're going to remove FARC pieces, then government, then cartel. Bases first. Wow, it's so good. So they're targeting the FARC with this, and remember, they just get to remove one enemy piece. Just do it. So bases first, they're going to remove a base from here. There's no FARC base here, but they target FARC before they target other bases. So this guerrilla goes away. Where's their box? And then this base here, they take away. That's crazy. And just like that, the tables have turned. So that was their whole move. They did assassinate and terror. Then we get to go. We can either do a limited operation or the event. Let's at least take a look at the event and see what it does. Let's see. Remove from coastal spaces 2 cartel pieces or up to 2 shipments. coastal spaces are the ones bordering this blue water. It should be obvious which ones are adjacent to the coast. So we could remove some pieces from there, from coastal spaces, 2 cartel pieces. But is that really worth our time? I mean, technically they're at their win condition, so I guess it would make sense to remove that cartel piece, the base, so that they would be back underneath. Is that really the best use of our funds, though, or our, like, time? Not sure. The alternative is we could do a limited operation, or we could pass and play on the next card, because the cartel will get to go first. It looks like they're probably going to get to do the event. Place base, available base in each of 2 cities and free bribe in 1 space. Yeah, I bet they're going to do this. And then we'd get to go. We'd get to do a full turn in that case, but they will have placed in each of 2 cities. Wow. They will have just placed 2 more bases. Oh man, this game. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. If we remove this base now, they go back under their win condition, only to just be revitalized by the next card and be able to get back above. They're actually going to be at like 12 bases by that point. So it seems kind of pointless to do that. But at the same time, if we don't do anything about that base, then they just get further and further ahead. And the other bots aren't in a position to where they need to be worried about yet. I know I said that the FARC are close, but they just got 2 of their bases removed. So, I didn't adjust again for that. So as like pointless as it is, I don't think the bots are going to gang up on each other to like dogpile on the leader. It's really going to fall to us. And this might be our only chance. So with the narco subs, from coastal spaces to 2 pieces or up to 2 shipments. Well, let's just remove the pieces. So, there's no other coastal base, unfortunately, that we could have knocked out. So just the 1 base. But that's okay. And we did the event. We'll adjust our eligibility. We'll get through 1 more card, which is going to be the chess player, followed by Tapias, which is a good one for us. It looks like a government capability. I mean, we've got plenty of those, so I think we'll need to use that time to take a full turn. All right, so the chess player. The cartel get to go first, and on their sheet, it looks like they want to do the event. Based on this, it's their first up, and it has an effect. Then down here, the chess player, select first among cities with the fewest cubes. Okay. Cities with the fewest cubes. It looks like the fewest number of cubes in a city is 2, and it's from these cities up here. Everywhere else has at least 3 cubes. So, since there's 4 choices, let's see, in each of 2 cities, it's a 4 choose 2 situation because they're going to be placing a base in each of 2 cities and then free bribe in 1 space. I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll see where we're at after that. We'll re-roll on a 5 or a 6. What is it? 4. So I said 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be here. They'll place a base. So they're at 11 bases now. Then we're at, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the last one. All right. 2. So 1, 2. It's going to be there. And then they free bribe in one spot. Let's look at their bribe instructions. In any of up to 3 spaces, but it's just 1 space. Cartel resources -3 to remove up to 2 cubes, or to flip up to 2 gorillas, or remove a base. So it looks like, I believe in these situations, they actually want you to use the same priorities as their instructions on the card. So if they were going to process, then we would use the process instructions on their sheet, the flowchart. They selected this for the bases, but now it says just bribe in 1 space. That could be anywhere on the map, including lines of communication. Yeah, because these are just spaces. So they're going to target enemy players. That's us. So they're going to target us. And then non-players. Within 1 and 2, they're going to target government first. Remove bases, police, troops, and guerrillas. So in each space, cartel resource -3. Remove up to 2 cubes. Remove a base. I don't think they get to remove a base if, well, there's no other base there. It doesn't matter. But I think they don't get to remove a base unless it's the last piece of that type. I could look it up, and we will if it ever actually matters. But they're going to remove 3 resources. Oh, except it's free, so they're not going to do this. And they're going to remove up to 2 cubes in a spot. So let's just roll the dice and figure out where they want to do this. So 5, 3, 6. 5, 6, 3. 5, 6, 3. Putumayo. Where's Putumayo? Oh, it's actually down here. So that's a location. That's the location they choose, I guess. 3 spaces with cartel and enemy. I don't know about this. And you can feel free to tell me in the comments if I'm doing this wrong. Like, it seems like the target location is one where there's enemy players. Those spaces exist on the map. So when you randomly select, I think you're only randomly selecting from a pool of locations where these things exist. Rather than, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is pick a location, and in that location, only target enemy players, and then non-players, if they're there within those locations, do that. I think the intent is to target enemy players first, so I think that's an invalid location because we're not there. That's how we're going to play it, but, why not? Whenever there's an ambiguity or a choice, I opt to make it harder on myself rather than easier, so I'm going to say that's not a valid location because they really want to attack us. So that was Putumayo. Then they're going to go to Guaviare. Guaviare is down there. Ooh, this was active. So no. Meta West is there. No. Neiva. That's here. There's no enemy pieces there. Huita. That's there. Sorry, Huila. Pasto. Okay, here. They're going to remove 2 cubes. And again, they want to make it as even as possible. And then I think they do... I'm going to look up what they remove first. But I think they want to make it as even as possible. I think it's going to be 1 and 1. Let me just double check. Yeah, okay, they want to remove... It says alternate between troops and police. Start with whatever has most in the space. So they start with this, and then they get this. I think that's essentially what we did previously up here. we would have alternated. We only removed one cube, but there was more troops, so we started with troops. Just to circle back to that, so these go back up to available because they removed them, and that was free for them. I think that's it. So that was their event. And then the FARC are going to get to go, and they're going to get to do a full turn. And the event's already done, so they're not eligible to do that. Okay. Do they have 9+ guerrillas available or can place a base? Looks like they can place a base. They only have 2 guerrillas available, but they can place a base here, for example, and maybe in another spot. Yeah, here as well. So that's a yes. Then they're going to rally. Guerrillas to underground? No. Place bases where there are at least 3 FARC guerrillas, and there's no limit to the number of, usually there's like a max 3 here or something. There's no limit here. So they're going to do it wherever they possibly can. Place bases where there are at least 3 FARC guerrillas. Here has 2. This is the spot where they are going to replace 2 guerrillas with a base. That will cost them 1 resource. Then the other locations where they have at least 3 are full for bases. And they're going to place guerrillas at FARC bases. So they're not going to place here because they've already rallied here. Up here, they do a 1 + 1, which is 2. Oh, actually, because they have so few guerrillas available, we should randomly be deciding where these locations are. So, hate to keep doing the chart selection. I don't know if that's super boring or what, but so 1, 2, and a 2. 1, 2, 2 is in Cali. Nope. Okay, Antioquia. They can't do it there. Medellin, but Santander doesn't have a base. Atlantico, no. Cesar, no. Arauca, here. Okay, so here they can place 2 because it's 1 + 1. So they will. And then they're going to do 1 more, I believe. Yeah, because I think they're going to do this in as many places as possible. And yeah, at FARC bases, and then if there were some left over. So that was Arauca, Bogota, no, Meta East, yes. So their other location is going to be down here, and getting a phone call. Okay, hopefully the recording didn't stop. So they're also going to be placing 1 + 1 is 2 here. That'll cost them 1 more resource. I don't think I paid for the 3rd location. Okay, that was the chess player. So, they rallied. Now let's see if they do anything else with their time. Yes, they're going to extort. So normally they would move on, but they ran out of guerrillas to place, so they're not going to do that. Wherever the FARC has at least 2 underground guerrillas, they're going to extort, and on 1 other line of communication. Let's take a look at extort. Oh boy. Any space where FARC include an underground guerrilla and outnumber the enemy. They're going to add 1 resource and activate 1 guerrilla. So they're just going to do this wherever there are at least 2 underground guerrillas and they outnumber the enemy, which is going to be here. So it's 1, 2, 3. Nope, they don't outnumber everyone there. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 5, 6. Okay. 6. So they go all the way up to 19. Let me just make sure I did that correctly. Yeah, any spaces. Yep, okay. So they did that. That was their extort, and they are done. So we'll adjust our eligibility again. We will discard the chess player by placing another card on top of it. Tapias is up next. And then the following card is going to be demobilization. But I'll save that for next time. And so I think we got through like 3 cards that time, so we are picking up the pace a little bit, which I'm glad to see, so that this series won't go on for forever. I mean, I'd love it for it to be long so that you guys get to see as many scenarios as possible, but I don't want it to overstay its welcome. But I'm having a blast, even though I think I'm doing a poor job of it, but at least rules-wise, I think we're like 90% there probably. So I know I'm probably making a few mistakes, and that's largely because I'm on camera doing this rather than going through all the rules. So hopefully that doesn't detract from your experience. As always, this has been Crosstown Gamer, and please do feel free to point out any rules mistakes you did see in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and this has been Andean Abyss. Until next time, bye.